Alright, what's up everybody? I know it's been a while since I've posted some videos, but we've had a lot of family stuff going on and nothing I could do about it. Our uncle was staying with us for a little while, and then I had to have some teeth removed, and I really didn't feel like talking when your mouth is open from the inside. That was not fun. But as always, when I'm gone for a while, I come back and there's plenty of Transformers to be reviewed. So, the first ones that I wanted to get out of the way were the Seeing, I think I'm saying that right, Trainbots. And guys, these are cool. These are awesome. I wish the Masterpiece Trainbots were more like these guys because they're solid. They've got an easy transformation. They're fun. It's just, they're really good. I wish these guys were a little bigger. I really do. So, size comparison wise, there's that. These are Legends class figures. But here he is with my custom ape face. I also have a video about this guy if you want to check out that one. It's way early on when I was first started doing this. Got a bunch of compliments on it. Thanks for everybody for that again, especially if you've been with the channel that long. But feel free to check out the custom ape face video. It's pretty fun. And I say it a lot, but I did finally glue that nose cone on there. So, but yeah, if these guys were this size, it would be perfect. So please share this video, and third-party companies, we need somebody to oversize these guys ASAP because they are awesome. So let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start with Getsway here. Very cool, nice little head sculpt. Not much on paint, but he really doesn't need much on paint. You just get what you need on this. So like, you get the paint highlights, mostly blue. You get the black plastic here. You get some silver there, silver on the face. It doesn't have a lot of paint, but it really doesn't need a lot of paint. Like, this is really cool. So as you can see, ball jointed arms. We've got a double hinge elbow. He's got a wrist swivel, which is pretty cool for a figure this small. Did I mention the waist swivel? The waist swivel is a little interesting though, because we do have this flap hanging down, but you can kind of get it out of the way. And then you've got the waist swivel there. You've got the hips that I believe are on a ball joint. That little hip skirt comes up. This little hip skirt comes up like so, 90 at the knee. And we do get an ankle rocker. And it's the same articulation on both figures, so we're just going through that. The backward motion is a little inhibited by this, but you can do this little trick and get you some back. So if you need a pose where he's got the leg like that, you can manipulate this back flap and do it that way. But really what you want to do is just kind of hold it like this. And you want to be conscious of this flap in the back too. So that down, and then the backpack like so. And that's going to give you the articulation on your waist. Did we go through everything? Oh, the head. Head is on a ball joint, looks up a lot. Left, right, side to side, okay. Or well, the nod, it's okay, but it's really just more of a swivel. But there you go. And like I said, same transformation on Yuki Kaze back there. Let's go ahead and take a look at him. Same kind of deal. Not a lot of paint, but he really doesn't need it. So here he is, all this stuff. Oh, these are supposed to be down, but they go up for transformation. So my bad. And there you go. Now it doesn't come with any instructions, but the transformation on these guys are actually pretty simple and straightforward. So there is two modes. There is the train mode, and then there is the limb mode. We're going to go to train mode first, and then limb. We're going to end on limb mode just because that's going to be the easiest for how we do this. So for the figures, I think we'll be okay. No. Okay. So the first thing we want to do, he's got this crotch piece right here. Both of these come down like this, and you turn it around like that. And then I think we can do the legs like this, because we're going to want to spin the legs around. Not the entire, not the upper waist, just this part. So like that. So we're going to put those back like this. Let's do the same thing on the other figure. We're going to put their guns aside for now. And they do have, excuse me, they do have weapon storage in their gun mode, or in their train mode, in their gun mode. So, like, okay, why is he not doing the thing? So there's his normal waist swivel. But what we want to go ahead and do is fold these tabs up. Get that joker out of the way. Open up that crotch piece. Move it around. Like so. And this is the more like softer plastic. If you're familiar with Magic Square toys, it's more like their kind of plastic. But I'm not really worried about breaking them or anything like that. I'm not really worried about bending them and stuff like that. So it's fine. The plastic is durable enough, and you kind of need a little bit of that leeway. So let's move that like this. Then we're going to go ahead and fold the head all the way up, because that piece is a little difficult to get open. You may need like a little sponger thing. It can be really frustrating to get in there. So move the head down like this. You're actually going to want to turn that like so. Let's go ahead and just fold the backpacks, or just fold the backpack on him out of the way. It'll be a lot easier for you to manipulate the parts that way. His shoulders should open up. Where is it? There we go. Okay. So his shoulder tabs open up like this. And you can kind of nudge that shoulder out of the way. We're going to go ahead. All right, now this is where it gets a little tricky. So it's going to be up like this with the bottom of the fist like this. You're going to need to do that to where the elbow comes in like that, okay? And then fold the wrist up like so, because that little tab is going to tab into the side of the door. And there's a very, very small tab right there. And that's actually one thing that I have kind of a difficult time doing. And it's going to come down like this and fold in like so. Now, let's do that again on this guy. So let's go ahead, fold both of these fists in, and it should just go in and then close shut. Like so. Okay. And then head all the way up, and might need a sponger on this one. Because like I said, that piece is really difficult to get into. Yeah, I'm going to need something. Give me a second. Give me just a second. I'm going to need to get something to pry that open. Hang on. All right, so I'm going to use this little fingernail file and just pop that open like that. Like I said, that's the most difficult part. If you're having trouble with that, just find something flat, find a little sponger thing, and then that. So let's do the same thing on this guy. Bring the head in like so. Get those shoulder tabs open and out of your way. Bring it up like this, and then like so. And then these guys are gonna rock on that shoulder into place. And then of course you want to line up your arm tabs and tab that into the side. And it can be a little frustrating. There it goes. All right, so let's do that again. Up, around like so. Bring this down. Tab that onto there. It's not tabbed in very well, but it'll still work. Up like so. And and then line all that up. Now, the trick is, if you're having any difficulty with things lining up or tabbing in, just try to relax, take it easy, because these will go into place. You got to find the right place for them, the right tension, something like that, but they will go into place. So let's take these will come out here, this will go down like this. So out, over, down. That's going to give you the room to take this little guy here, and I actually really like the way these panels transform. So they go here, this comes out like this, and then you can see the tabs on the side there. So we're going to do that. Bring that over here. That'll tab under like this, and this will tab into that knee slot, or that little thigh slot right there. And then that'll be the wall there. And of course, yes, this will close down when we're done with both sides. So let's do that, do that. Let's do that again. And there, see, I'm having difficulty with, this is what I'm talking about right here. Having a little difficulty getting that in, but all it is just a matter of finding what you need to find and lining everything up. And it should go into place fairly easily. Like so. So that was a good example. Just take your time, feel free to manipulate it. Don't try to force it. Everything's gonna go into place. Just relax. Okay, and then of course, bring this down. And it's easier if you kind of do that. And then that'll all tab in together there. So let's get Getsway taken care of over here. In case you don't know their names, this is Getsway, that's Yukikaze. Let's get these guys caught up with each other. Like so. We're going to bring this over here. Bring it around like that. This shoulder thing should come down like this. And tab in the elbow, tab that, tab this, blah, blah, blah. Like that. And make sure that these panels tab into your shoulder piece like so. Okay, so let's get that. Same thing on it. They transform the same way, so if you figure out one, you can figure out the other. Open the panel there, line everything up. Like that. And then same thing on the other side. Open this, come down like that, and tab in there. Okay, and then we got this piece that comes down and tabs in to the legs there. And if you can't get the tension right on this part, just kind of pull these down a little bit and it'll give you just enough leeway to get where you're going. So for this, we want to extend this all the way. We want to bring these in. We want to bring this up and fold this over. And it is going to box in like so. And then, yeah, you guessed it. We just find where we need to be and line everything up, pop everything in, keeping your wheels down. And there we go. And then this little guy just comes down like that. Getsway is done. Let's finish up Yukikaze. Same principle. So all the way here. Fold this. Now this, I find this is easy to do first. Bring that around like this. And then for these guys, you're going to kind of want to do like this motion and then fold it out like that. So bring it in and then fold it out like that. And it'll just kind of, it'll make the process a lot easier. So I hopefully got that on the camera where you could see it. That tab it in, the tabs go in first and then fold out. So fold in, fold out. And then over here, line everything up. And you can just keep everything lined up because of the green stripes. So that does make everything a lot easier. And same thing here, that little top panel needs to come down. Oh, I messed that up. I think I messed up. I think I messed that little top panel up. That's going to mess us up later for when we get into limb mode. That's not good. There we go. Okay, so here and like that. Okay. And the connections are pretty tight, but not too tight. So there we go. Now you're probably asking, does it have weapon storage? Yes, it does. So you see that little bitty hole right there at the end of my finger. Your gun goes right in front of it. See that little clip? So look at that little hole, and then right in front of the hole, there's that little clip. So your gun's gonna go right there. And it can be a little tricky because you can't really see where the handle is. It can be a little tricky to get that in there. But I think we can do it. So let's try it. So there, put the barrel in between the arms. That little handle needs to go right there. And boom, like that. Now I'm not going to do that on Get's Way just to save some time, but same thing. They both go in the same way, so it's fine. They both roll. Got the little rolling wheels. The wheels do roll, so that's pretty cool. So very nice. And they roll pretty decently, honestly. So there's that. There's the top, other side, from the bottom, from the back. They clean up pretty well. I mean, I hand it to them. For what these things are, they clean up pretty well. And like I said, I'm so much more impressed with these than the Masterpiece Edition because these are cleaner. There's no clear plastic. They just have a much smoother transformation. Everything still works right. I love these. I need these upscaled to chug level. Please, somebody. Okay, so let's do the limb mode and get out of here. All right, so for the limb mode, we are going to want to pop off our front section, and I believe we're going to need to open up that tab and be able to do it. It's not too difficult to get that tab open, but it is a little finicky. I know I use that word a lot, but if it sounds right, it sounds right. There we go. I don't usually need the sponger to get that off. They're just being difficult with me today. All right, so we need to pop open our front end like this. And I can't remember if you can do this with the gun on there. We're going to try it just to see if we can. So the wheels are going to need to fold in like this. You know what? I think you need to take the gun off in order to be able to put them in the limb mode. We're gonna do it and see if it works a little better. So here, and that should. Where are we? So these should tab into the sides like so. So that's going to go like that. Then what you're going to do is, you know those folded up pieces? We're going to take that. They're actually going to come around this way. Right there. And they're going to fold up flush against the thing like so. Like that. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. this, that, like this. Okay. Here are that. Now I believe for this, the reason why you want to do that is because you want to straighten out this chest piece, and that will give you room to do that. And then it's going to come apart up here at the feet, come down like this. And what I like to do is this right here. You can kind of pull these around like so, and then manipulate this to where it comes down. It's not going to sit entirely flush, but it's going to look like that when you're done. And it's not the greatest aesthetic or anything, but it'll look a little better. I'm trying to see if there's, I want to say that's right, because I feel like this needs to tab into that little slot right there, but how does that work? I think the arms are going to go down like this, and then that's going to tab right here, and that's going to tab into the other side over here. Once again, guys, these don't come with instructions, so I'm figuring out a new thing while you're watching this. But apparently, that little tab right there slots into that little slot right there. Like so. Okay, so the arms have to come down like this. And seeing as that's how a heel, I'm going to say let's turn the arms around like that, to where the elbow goes down like this, you know? I don't know if that's right, but I'm going to say do that. That way, he's got a more, you see that? He's got a more stable heel back there. And then it will come up a little bit. You got to kind of manipulate that, but it is an ankle rocker. He does have an ankle rocker right there. Usually a better one. I might have some stuff closed off, but that is an ankle rocker right there. Okay, so I'm going to say that's the heel. I'm going to say that's how to do it. All right, so there's that. Let's try that again with Getsway and see what we get. So let's pop that open. Yeah, we can go ahead and have those open like that. I need the front end. Yeah, we're gonna do that with the front end. So let's get those open, and I did that. Okay, that was my bad. I did that. I popped that open. That's on me. Like this. And then bring that up. These should go like this. This should tab in here. Like so. And then this little joint right there, that's going to be the key right there. You see where it flexes? That's going to be the key to getting it to line up with everything right here, because it doesn't really want to go. It doesn't really want to go on either figure, so be aware of that. All right, so let's do that thing with the arms like this, and let's spin them around like so, because that seems to work better for me. You know, it seems to just be more of a stable heel to me. So let's do that. Let's open this up. Like that, like this. Oh, let's go ahead and get this thing out of the way. The little chest piece thing. Let's go ahead and do that. Get these guys out of our way over here, and then flatten this. Yeah, good enough. All right. Against there, bring it up like this, and then open this guy up. Come on. There he goes. Okay, so the little wheels up first, like that, and then all the way around like this, and then, yeah, see, he's got the little tab right there. So down to here, as flush as we can get it, and then maybe if we, does this piece move out of the way or something? Because it seems, like that's getting in the way, huh? But I think if we just keep it flush like that, it'll be okay. This, and then tab it in like there, right there. Let's do the same on the other side, like so. Okay, and that gets us that leg, and we get the ankle rocker there, and see, much better ankle rocker on Getsway here because I've got it where it needs to go. But okay, so those are the legs done. I believe we've got the back the way that they need to go. I'm not 100% because, again, no instructions. So like I said, I think I just figured out all this stuff on this video, so that's cool. Oh, we don't have the arms the right way. This way to where the elbow bends. Yeah, no, I had it right the first time. I'm crazy. Moving on. Yeah, it's where the elbow bends down so that he gets that heel support there. And I think that's right. Now, this connection seems to be where the next one's going to go. So there you go. Now, if you're wondering about the size of the combiner, obviously we can't tell from just the legs, but I'm thinking roughly along the same size as the Iron Factory Lyo Kaiser. I have a video on that one. I do a size comparison with a bunch of stuff if you want to see that one. So feel free to look that up. But I'm thinking this ride-in is going to be the same size as the Iron Factory Lyo Kaiser. I hope so anyway. But once again, I need a third-party company to upscale these guys to roughly the new deluxe size. If they did that, that would be awesome. Please, somebody out there do that. So please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. And share it as much as you can because we need these things upscaled for our chug collection. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I know this video has been a really long one, but you know, it's 2 reviews in one, so it's basically 15 minutes on each. But thanks, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.